What is up, guys? Today we're going to learn how to spice up your gaming headphones with some hand-painted artwork. Now these headsets are plastic, so we're going to go through a few steps to get the best results. Also, just a side note, this pouch has the actual headset portion in it, so we're going to keep it wrapped up like this throughout the video just to protect it while we're painting. The first thing we're going to do is tape off any areas we don't want to get paint on. We'll be doing some spraying, so it's important that certain areas are masked off. To tape small buttons and controls, apply one piece of tape and use an X-Acto knife to cut around the indents for easy masking. Alright, our headsets are taped up and protected. Now we're going to grab some Angelus Repairer and Deglazer to clean and prep our surface for spraying. With the Deglazer, I'm also going to get rid of this little logo so we have a nice blank surface to work on. Alright, last step before spraying is sanding our surface to ensure a better bond with our primer. We're going to lightly sand until the surface looks a bit more dull. Since we already sanded, this step is not 100% necessary, but we're going to apply some primer spray as just an extra adhesion step for our plastic surface. The key here is to hold the can at a distance and do super light swipes to build an even coat. And once that dries, we can remove our tape and get ready to paint. So here's one really cool way to add sketchwork to your surface. I just cut out a square that's the same size as my headphone. Now I know what size to sketch out my artwork to. And if you have any trouble with sketching, you can trace an image onto a piece of paper or even use a printout of any image instead. Alright, our basic shape is traced out. Now I'm going to use a sheet of graphite paper, which essentially is just a sheet of pencil lead. When you place an image and draw on top of it, it transfers those pencil lines to the surface of your choosing. So we're just going to place the graphite paper on our headphone and tape our traced or printed image on top of that. While tracing, apply pretty firm pressure just to make sure the lines follow through on the other side. Once you remove the paper, you should see your design sketched on the surface. Don't worry about any extra graphite that's transferred through. I'll be painting over it, but you can erase it as well. Now that we're ready to paint, it's important that we add some Angelus 2 Hard to our paint colors since we're working on a hard plastic surface. I'm going to apply coats until the body of my snake is fully saturated. My green is fully saturated. Now I'm going to add some highlights to the snake, which are basically just your original color plus white. So I mixed in flat white with my green to get that lighter highlight color. For the middle portion of the body, I did a blue-green color fade by just saturating both sides and then mixing the two colors together where they meet. And then I'm going to just fill in all the basic colors in my design with various paint mixtures. I'm also going to add in some shading to create that depth of field look. To do this, I just add my paint color, a small strip of black, and then mix the two together while fanning them out. To finish, I just add some more of my blue to the bottom and work my way up before the paint dries. For the scales, I'm just going to grab my handy dandy pencil and sketch out the lines before I go over them with paint. This just helps me minimize mistakes by seeing what it'll look like before I apply my paint color. And to get those thin, neat lines, I'm going to be using a small detail brush such as the Zero Spotter. The snake is pretty much done, so now we're going to create a really cool and easy metal background. So first, we'll grab our gray paint and fully saturate the rest of the panel. All you have to do is pencil in a random pattern of squares and small circles. The more random, the better. Then we're just going to paint over those pencil lines with dark gray or black. I recommend using a detail brush for the smaller circles. Once the lines are painted in, we'll need a darker gray mix, which is our original color with a few drops of black added that will work very nicely to create that same depth of field shadow. This will make the panels look like they're on top of one another and will really create that cool, realistic effect. And then for the upper panel, I'm going to be following the same steps to create the metal look as well. And I'm going to fill in the remaining white portions of the headphones with 3 to 4 coats of flat black. Lastly, a really important step is to apply a scratch-resistant clear coat to protect and preserve your artwork.